Oh, this might be it. I think we might be it. This might be it. I think we're live. This is
sound?
it. What's going on, Angela? Happy Martin Luther King Day.
Do you have sound?
I have sound.
Happy Martin Luther King Day.
It's perfectly acceptable for you to be checking if I have sound, of course.
Yeah, I know. I kind of wish I didn't have to interrupt your opening because it goes so smooth, and then I have to ask.
Well,
because otherwise we won't have an opening.
My suggestion is to ask before we go live.
Well, I never know when that is, babe. You're the one who pushes the button.
Yay, Delicate, what's up? Oh, look, we can hear you.
This is the day of that we celebrate Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday.
We have...
which was on the 15th.
We don't have this because it's Martin Luther King Day, but we always have this one up behind the dragon. Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite Martin Luther King Jr. quotes. If, in fact, it is one of his quotes, because I just took it at face value. Mm-hmm. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
He is a person who has been co-opted and misquoted by everybody everywhere all the time ever since his death.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing the best I can. You know what I mean? As far as that goes, I never looked it up to see. I just like the quote. It's not there because it's Martin Luther King. It's there because it's so smart.
Mm-hmm. It's Martin Luther King.
But it just so happens to be Martin Luther King Day today. Mm-hmm. Also Dolly Parton's birthday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, today is not Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday.
No, his birthday is on the 15th.
Yes, that's right. But this is where we celebrate it.
This is the holiday.
Uh-huh. And what better way to celebrate Martin Luther King Jr.'s holiday than the Minnesota, the AFL-CIO has called for a general strike in Minneapolis.
Oh, sweet.
It is the first general strike that they have called for. This hasn't happened in over 80 years.
Wow.
And it is a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
And they're saying that the conditions are absolutely ripe for workers to exert their power over the increasingly horrific situation that the federal government has brought upon the locals in Minneapolis. The locals in and around Minneapolis call for a general strike, which accounts for close to 300,000 people. Let's see. I found a bunch of little tidbits on this. This is absolutely awesome.
While you're looking for that, I saw this statistic. Minnesota has something like 130,000 immigrants compared to Texas, which has something like 2.1 million.
Yeah, I know. It's a
and in Texas, ICE is like whatever. It's basically not there. Mm-hmm. But they've invaded Minnesota. Mm-hmm. It has 130. It doesn't even have 10%.
I think a lot of it has to
5%.
do with the fact that Governor Tim Walz called Donald Trump and everybody in his crew weird, which really got under their skin.
The FBI's, I think it's the FBI. He's being investigated. Tim Walz is right now.
Yeah. So listen. So this is really, really fucking great news. Nothing gives me more of titters and flutters of the heart than when I hear about labor movements gaining strength. Because I just feel like it's like. It is absolutely like the big hammer that people always ignore foolishly. It is, in a capitalist society, it is really the only and biggest, strongest power that we all have, and all of us just act like it doesn't exist. Anyway, I found a few awesome quotes. Louis Felice Leon, he's a journalist and staff writer at Labor Notes, which is just all about reporting on worker solidarity and workers' movements. Okay. He says the beating heart of a fighting labor movement is in Minnesota. One of the key battles for the future of working people will be determined there.
Damn.
This is from this publication, Labor Notes, says Minnesota appears to be in gear for a mass uprising. Unions, community organizations, faith leaders, and small businesses there are calling for a statewide day of no work, except for emergency services, no school, and no shopping on January 23rd, Friday. They said, this is...
I fucking love it.
Janae Bates Amari of Camphor Memorial United Methodist Church said, "We're not going to shop. We're not going to work. We're not going to go to school on Friday. For many of us, this is our right to refusal until something changes." Now, according to them, they're only calling for one day, which is certainly not enough to make any difference whatsoever. Usually labor movements get laughed at until a month later, and then they're like, oh, you guys are powerful. We'll give in to all of your demands.
It's a start. everyone like, you can't just pull all your cards. You can't play all your cards at once,
Yeah.
You gotta try to push and nudge and make things happen. Remember that when they call for a strike, everybody's lives are affected. It's not just that they're able to, interrupt life. They're interrupting their own lives as well.
Yeah.
And in some cases, it's incredibly detrimental.
But if you have a really great supportive network, not you, like not each individual, but I mean workers in a union, if you belong to a union, they have ways of taking care of everybody to outlast them through the strike. Everybody struggles, everybody suffers. This is just one of the things that you accept, but you have to, but the whole point of the strike is the suffering greater than, is the suffering under current circumstances greater than the suffering that it would take to change its circumstances?
I mean, I certainly understand
and
that.
most of the time, it's a very easy decision.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly understand that. I'm just offering some fodder for like why they might take it steps at a time. And okay, we're doing it for a day. Okay, fuck you, it's a week, and because they're caring for their own
This
at
is
the
what
same
I'm hoping
time.
for. But I just pulled a quote that I thought was really perfect from Martin Luther King Jr. himself. This is a letter to Amalgamated Laundry Workers, January 1962. Because we know that the very last thing that he was doing when he was assassinated, and many believe it's why he was assassinated, was he went to Memphis and he was marching with and speaking to the Memphis sanitation workers, strikers that were striking at the time. Mm-hmm. And so he was in the 60s. He had moved from racial justice into a broader umbrella of racial and workers' causes. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is what he said about that.
Okay.
As I have said many times and believe with all my heart, the coalition that can have the greatest impact in the struggle for human dignity here in America is that of the Negro and the forces of labor, because their fortunes are so closely intertwined. And they believe that it was that turn that was challenging the powers that be, the capitalists, that made them say, you know what, no more Mr. Nice Guy. We got to get this guy out of here. It seems as long as somebody has a really strong voice for organizing the working class, they got to nix that, because it's extremely powerful.
Absolutely.
Such a shame.
I'm excited for the people of Minnesota, man, and I'm grateful for their service. If they can pull this off and send a message, listen, that's the only way that or that's one of the, I think, main weapons, for lack of a better term, that the people have is their labor. It's what they're fighting over. It's what they're constantly limiting. It's what they hang over. Healthcare over your heads with, right? Mm-hmm. It's just like,
exactly.
Hey, we need to keep you in the labor force, and so you know what you need? Health insurance.
This is why.
So you're going to stay right here, pal.
Yeah, this is why my heart swells.
Get behind that wheel, and you're going to turn it.
This is why my heart swells every time I hear about it, because I know that every single issue that we are struggling against is all connected. Very, very like the bulb of the root, with labor. This is a really great recommendation. I just wanted to mention to everybody, if you want to know, this guy says, Josh, his @ is Queer Socialism on Twitter, says, one of my favorite books on Dr. King, expansive account of the Memphis sanitation workers strike, its origins, King's contributions, and its impact on his ever-evolving political philosophy. This is a book called Going Down Jericho Road, The Memphis Strike, Martin Luther King's Last Campaign, by Michael K. Honey. And I started reading it today, and it is fabulous. I'm going to finish it too.
It's about it's about his last days and how he was trying to fight for
specifically the Memphis sanitation
rally union.
So the Memphis sanitation workers strike was so it was kind of, I mean, mostly because Dr. King lost his life doing this, but it was a turning point in the civil rights movement because they were really, really trying to suppress these people. It was like riots in the streets. People were dying in the riots by police forces. It was like really, really gnarly. And I didn't know anything about it. I only knew it in the context of that's where he died and that's what he died doing. But he actually he canceled a trip he had planned to Africa to continue to speak with the workers and march with the workers, because it was such an important fight at the time. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that's very interesting.
So I just think that this person wrote a book that seems to be a really great explanation about all of the converging factors that made this moment so huge in the civil rights movement. Going Down Jericho Road by Michael K. Honey. So just want to mention that.
I love it. Delicate says a united labor force is the biggest enemy to these people. It's just that simple.
Yes.
You know, it's just that simple.
Let's do it.
It's a part of how they keep this whole fucking hamster wheel going. And of course...
it's true. To them, every other effort at protest is a fucking joke. Because it does not actually threaten any of the, business as usual.
No, you can almost look at it as they might, like... It wouldn't surprise me if they viewed it as, sort of self-placating.
Yes, it is a pacification ritual.
Yeah.
That the Democrats are like, come on out, we're going to march. And then absolutely nothing
happens. And then they feel good. They feel lovey-dovey about it. They're like, we're activists.
I know.
Did you see us out there with our signs? Let me see your sign again. Oh, that's good.
Okay.
You're hilarious.
My absolute favorite fucking clown in Democratic politics is Cory Booker, because I don't know if you remember, but he he did a...
He did the long talk?
He did the long talk. And then the very next day, he voted to send more missiles to Israel. So what he did recently was he gave a very impassioned speech on social media where he looked really angry. He put on his angry face. And he said that what he's going to do is have reforms for ICE officers where they wear body cameras. Like, what happened to Renee Good was on, like it was filmed on several different cameras, including a camera that the shooter held.
Yeah.
So there was a body camera.
By the way, the Department of Justice
that's not
announced there won't be an investigation. There will not be an investigation.
Yeah, of course. But what I'm saying is, like, this... The reason why I bring him up is that
that's crazy.
Everything that he is doing and everything that he is supporting, you can tell is part of that, like, placating machine that they roll out. It's like all rickety and they like put it out and it does like its little song and dance like the fucking Chuck E. Cheese animatronics,
Yeah.
Where they're like, everybody, let's just sign up for another No Kings rally. Just one more, I swear. It'll just take one more.
Yeah, you got to do something more than that.
Yeah.
It was funny because, like, when we were protesting the logging in Clayoquot Sound in 1993 or 2 or whatever it was, and nothing happened. Like, blocking the logging roads and all the fucking picketing, nothing happened.
Yeah, because I know you're gonna go
when
home
the mob started throwing rocks at the fucking parliament and breaking windows. Something happened immediately. Like, immediately. It was like immediate.
All throughout history, it has always only been the thing that does the change.
And nobody even got hurt in that situation. It was just some broken windows. There was violence, but it wasn't, the kind of violence that that even threatened a life. And the government folded quickly, and that forest is intact. Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like it's really neat. The teachers' unions are getting on board. Marsha Howard, president of the Minneapolis Federation of Educators. She says the moment for economic disruption is now.
Yeah.
That this is the moment of reckoning.
Yeah,
and that they can seize it.
Potato Patata is saying some really important shit, though. He's saying, or she's saying, or they're saying, it's important to have actionable demands too. You can't just strike on vibes. And I think that's a really, really, really smart point, because, like, it's easy to be like, hey man, let's do something. But you gotta have a reason for doing it.
Well, what's so great is that
getting ICE the fuck out.
Yeah,
my
right
house
now
is pretty good.
in America, the actionable demands are so surface level. Like, everybody understands what the fuck they're asking for. They just want peace restored to their city.
Yeah,
they want people to stop being fucked with.
Yeah, they want their elected governors to control their states. And of all fucking parties, you got to tell the GOP this. Mm-hmm. You got to tell Donald Trump this. Didn't he run on states' rights? Isn't that his whole big fucking Roe v. Wade fucking win?
No,
he put it back in the hands of the states where everyone wanted it?
What I'm saying is that the strike is also for the Democratic leadership of that town. For instance, I don't know if you remember, but like a week or two ago, their Mayor Frey was on the news, and he was using all the big bad words. He was like, ICE, get the fuck out of our town. And what has he done? Yeah. Absolutely fucking nothing. No. Like, he controls the police force. He can do something about it, but he has not.
Well, what do you think he can do with it if he controls the police force? What does controlling the police force give him as an option, do you think? If you have an idea, and if you don't, that's cool.
Federal agents are supposed to be accompanied by local PD everywhere they go to do everything they do.
Right, that's what's cooperation, but how do you...
No. I'm saying like that is the rules of when the federal government comes into a local municipality, is that they're supposed to be accompanied because, for things like the issue that they had with Renee Good is that they assumed she was blocking a road. What they're supposed to do is call local PD, have local PD come out and deal with the traffic issue. Because that's not their jurisdiction. They're not supposed to deal with people with traffic issues. They're not supposed to
we know that. We know they're not supposed to be dragging people out of cars.
No. I'm saying not even that, but like they're not even supposed to be
that still
dealing with anybody in any capacity that has anything to do with most of what they've been doing since they showed up. And they're supposed to be accompanied by cops that sort of like coordinate for them locally, but also keep them in check and make sure that they're kind of like, like assistant minders. You know what I mean? Like, so they're assistants to them, but they're also minding them to make sure that they're not doing anything.
But what does the governor do when ICE isn't cooperating? Because what you're talking about is cooperation.
Arrest people.
He's going to arrest ICE?
When you have people who are that are breaking laws.
But do you think that's what are you saying arrest ICE? Is that what you're saying?
That's not what I'm saying. I have no idea how any of this works.
But arresting people was the solution, and I'm trying to figure out who's getting arrested, because if ICE isn't going to cooperate with the local PD or
anybody who
with
breaks
the state
laws is supposed to be detained pending there's an investigation, right?
Who are we talking about? Are we talking about citizens? Or are we talking about ICE?
Okay, but they're citizens.
So we're talking about everybody, including them.
So the Fourth Amendment means that you're not supposed to fuck with people. So if you go around fucking with people, you can get in trouble with the law.
You're supposed to be.
So
but it's the Fed, right? That's where they're...
No, but they're not exempt from the Fourth. Nobody in the entire.
Well, that might be true if you can get them to court. But like a murderer just walked off the scene. He shot somebody in the face and left the scene. You know what I'm saying? Like under no circumstances, whether you're a state, municipal,
here's what I'm saying,
or
so they're not
anything
supposed
local
to be operating,
would never be able to do something like that.
They're not supposed to be operating without police with them, because that's just how federal agencies are supposed to be working.
Right. We've established that for sure.
So they've sent all these guys who are untrained, and they've gone rogue, and they're like totally, crazy roid raging all over town. And so it's weird you're asking these questions, because it seems like super simple what should be done. Like, stop the people from being lawless.
You still haven't said anything that should be done. Like, I'm talking about the problem is ICE. The problem there is that they're in the state by the thousands now. And they're interfering with local law enforcement. They're not cooperating with local law enforcement.
Oh, yeah, but you're talking about an investigation. I'm saying before that ever happens.
I'm not talking about an investigation. What I'm saying is, what do you expect a governor to do or when the federal government is doing whatever it wants? Like, there is nobody to police the federal government.
That's incorrect.
Okay, who? The judges, but you got to go through the courts, and they're doing that. But
I think that the way that
judges is all that's left for them.
I think the way that it works is that federal agencies are like guests in the home of the state in which they work.
Okay, but you still have to go through the only thing that can save them though is the courts, right? Like, what I'm saying is he can't deploy any kind of action, like people or personnel. He can't stop them. There's no like he can't how would you propose that? Okay, well, how would you propose that they do? Like, what I'm saying is they're doing whatever they want. They're the federal government. They can roll their tanks in the streets if they want to. They just can. Who is going to stop them? Like, what can any governor do to actually stop them?
It's like okay, I don't know why this is. I guess I'm not understanding our misunderstanding. Okay. But it's like cops versus cops. You know what I mean? Law enforcement.
So you think you should? That's civil war, right? So you're gonna sit around. You're gonna go.
Okay, well, you're making a giant leap there.
Well, it's not. It's civil unrest. I mean, if you have a situation where, look, I think this is kind of what
I'm not talking about.
The federal government would love to see happen.
I'm not talking about a standoff in the street where everybody's firing at each other. This is not what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm talking about they have agency. There are agencies that have offices. Yeah. They are coordinated by a broader network that is tapped into other law enforcement agencies on a state level. So the feds are talking to state agencies. Okay. And I'm saying that if the governor had mandated that they have a more I think the governor can say, like, they can't impede federal federal agency conduct that is lawful. But if they're making sure that they've got eyes on every single person, every single agent that's out there, and make sure that every single door they knock on is one that they have a warrant from an actual judge to go visit. Do you know what I'm saying?
But what if they don't? Like, what if they, because they already
I
don't
don't know
do
why
that.
you make a leap to civil war. It just seems so like.
Okay, forget about that. What I'm talking about is,
like really tame, like.
Okay, but they're not. They're not doing that, right? Like they're not.
This is why there's a strike. Because they're the people who are in power at the state level and the local level can be doing much more than they are.
There's nobody to stop them. They are pulling people out of their cars and nobody can stop them.
Why are you talking about like that?
Well, what I'm trying to say, I'm trying to get this through because like I don't think I'm doing a good job. I'm not trying to talk like don't be offended. I'm trying to say the whole thing I've been trying to say this whole time is governors don't have any solution unless they're going to start some kind of civil war, because nobody can stop them from doing what they're doing, even if they're breaking the law. And they're already breaking the law in the Epstein files. Donald Trump has been breaking the law since his first fucking term. He does not care about the law. That is very, very obvious. And so if you have a lawless they're not abiding by the laws, and the only thing that I understand politically or is that they can put them through the courts and have judges do things like block them and do whatever, and that's helpful. But
what about fantasy? Like, I don't know how anything works, right? Like, actually, you're asking me questions I don't know the answers to, but like the fantasy would be like, okay, Governor Tim Walz is like, enough of this shit, and he closes down the state. Every single highway in and out of the state closed. Now these guys are trapped.
Well, that
and then
can't
they go
happen
and
because
find every single one of them.
He can't close federal roads.
And make sure that they're held accountable for every single thing that they're doing. They look through all of the work that they've been doing in Minnesota up until that time. Mm-hmm. Say, you're not free to go until we get to the bottom of what you've been doing to the people who live here. You know what I'm saying? Like, fantasy shit.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, because it's just not. And also, like, the highways, many of the highways leading in and out of states belong to the federal government, not state.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's
fantasy shit.
It's fantasy shit. It's fantasy. Look, this is the problem. This is what makes it.
This isn't the problem. I don't know what I'm talking about. You're asking one person who is completely ignorant about this.
Okay.
So I'm sure that there's a lot of people that have a lot of really great answers for your questions. There are probably fantastic, very simple, very clear answers to your questions. You just happen to be asking the wrong person.
Well, I think Syria has answers, and I think like Iran and every place where the government, like ours, is doing right now, where it goes in and imposes itself on states and local municipalities and so on and so forth, when it just bullies itself in and does whatever it wants, that is the authoritarian takeover of a democratic nation.
I think the locals and the civil rights lawyers, I think they all recognize that there is a level of complicity going on that they are very incensed with. And I believe them when they have a sense that more could be done, right? Like, for instance, there's no reason why these people are secret police. Like, they should not be permitted to wear masks.
Right. So the only way that you can get all that through is Congress, and Congress is complicit. Like, this is the problem that we're in. We're just
this is why people are calling for a strike.
We're in a checkmate, and the only thing left is
they're like, we don't know how you're going to fix it, but we're going to not work until you do.
Congress is already allowing them to do this in the first place, and it's going to go up to a highly conservative Supreme Court that is going to allow, fucking by and large the shit they want.
I thought that when I was bringing up the workers' strike in Minneapolis, that we would not go down this road, but that we would instead be talking about how awesome it is that maybe they could exert some force. I
think we ended up down this road because of the power. 1 day thing, but it's exciting. Mm-hmm. It's a move. I hope it works. I hope it sends a message. But then I knew Cosmic Grizzly was going to say this. I really did. He said, so Dale's come around to seeing the No King's Day the way Angela and I did, and I'm like, no, I don't know what you mean by that. Like, I still encourage that. It's not. I don't know why it doesn't make No King's Day a bad thing. Like, I don't know why you want to characterize that as like not a good thing. It's a great thing. It's not a labor strike. It's definitely a message sent. Is it a strong enough message? Was it a strong enough message? Not so far. But why criticize the fact that people are taking action? Like, I think that's crazy. I think it's great that people had their No King's Day, and even if it didn't, if it wasn't fruitful, who cares? How many fucking things have I tried in my life that weren't fucking fruitful, man? Over and over and over and over and over and over again, So it's just a try, dude. It's just a try.
Hey, chill out.
You don't not try.
Too much today from you. Okay, so would you like to talk about? We're watching this.
What's wrong with what I was doing?
It sounded like you were getting defensive.
No.
Oh.
I'm just talking about the reality. Like why shit on somebody's try? Doesn't make any sense to me. I'm an encourage. I'm a guy who encourages the situation.
This is true. You're very encouraging.
I want to encourage shit. I don't want to discourage shit. Mm-hmm. I don't want people not to do something because one didn't work. Fuck, nothing would ever get done if that happened.
Do you want to talk about this? Let's see. We have this lawsuit.
That's all I'm saying.
We have this. You were talking about something about Blake Lively. What's the next subject, you think?
Well, we got the Kohberger's victims' families suing. This is the worst title I've ever written, and I do write terrible titles just in general. Kohberger's victims' families sue university.
Yeah. So do you want to hear the story about this?
Cosmogringy was kind of not making fun of, or maybe it was making fun of, but he was just saying that it was a little jarring to see Blake Lively and Kohberger side by side like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're not supposed to use Kohberger's face when we're talking about the victims' families. They probably wouldn't appreciate that very much. There's probably
I don't know what else to put there. It's Brian Kohberger. What do I put? Do I put fucking what's his name? Anderson Cooper?
Tell you. No, all four of the family, all four of the victims are usually pictured together, like in a little.
Oh, okay. Well, please feel free to consult anytime before the live.
So the victims' families have decided to sue Brian Kohberger's previous employer because during the course of the investigation, after the authorities had found him as the suspect, they started to, I think they had detained him, and I think they charged him, but then they went and interviewed everybody who he knew at this university about whether they had any information about whether he was stalking victims or something like this, right? If he had any stalker behavior, if he was doing anything strange. They also unearthed a lot of really, really alarming things that happened after the murders, where he was wearing unseasonably extra clothes, like long sleeves, and he was hiding his hands a lot, and he was extremely withdrawn, and he wouldn't talk to people, and he had something, I think somebody saw bruises or something. Really horrific details. Anyway.
Well, I wondered though, like, what does that give you? Like, obviously it gives you like some problems to try to get him treatment or something. Cause like remember that time when we were,
what's your question?
Well, I'm trying to figure out like how that helps. I'm trying to figure out what they didn't do that they could have done that might've made a difference.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to that part yet. Okay. So in the course of interviewing everybody that he worked with, he found out that the university had been dealing with him as a behavior problem for a really long time. That he was being really menacing with the women that he worked with in all of these really various horrible ways. Women had started to plan to have security escorts to their cars at night. Because of Kohberger, they would hang out in twos and make sure that nobody was ever alone with him. Really, really bad situations. He was constantly making people uncomfortable. They even had he was working as a teacher's assistant, and he had been brought to the university as a PhD candidate and employed as a teacher's assistant. And so they were saying that that all of this bad behavior and his inability to listen to any of his his superiors kept trying to get him to change his behavior, and he wasn't. The family is saying that the university should have done more to expel him or even to vet him before he arrived, because apparently they do background checks that he cleared because he didn't have a criminal history, but apparently he had he'd had some complaints at a previous workplace about the same sort of stuff, like stalking behavior. But I don't think there's any way that the university could have known that. Anyway.
And even if they did, like, I'm wondering what you can do. Like make sure he's taking his meds. Like, what are your options? Like, in the same way, like, what could anyone have done about the Reiner kid? Like, what do you?
Okay, let me tell you. So what they're alleging is that the university should have done a better job of protecting the surrounding community by not having him at the university anymore.
By expelling him.
Yes, he would have gone home to Pennsylvania where his folks live if he had lost that job. Let me just pull this up. It's interesting because there is a really, really long history of them trying to deal with this guy who's a very obvious problem. And what's so fascinating about it is that he's a criminology student. So he's doing all of these behaviors
a
around...
PhD candidate, right?
Yes. So he's doing all these behaviors around a bunch of other criminology students. So what they do is they start analyzing him and profiling him. So a bunch of these criminology students recognize that they have a criminal in their midst, and they start figuring out exactly what he's like. The people who are his superiors in the PhD department, right? The people who are ultimately training him so that he can complete his PhD, they start having meetings where they literally say, we have to figure out a way to prevent him from getting his PhD, kick him out of the program or something, because he's smart enough to earn it. And when he does, he's going to be a professor at some university and he's going to victimize his students. This is the kind of things that they were saying to each other. So,
well, there's some really interesting language in there because, I think it might uncover the complications involved with something like that. Like people have rights and universities have rules, and
yes,
it's not cut and dry. You can't just expel somebody.
That's right.
They have an appellant process and they can keep them on. And you don't even know that wouldn't have been a triggering event that would have led to something and different victims. And so it just becomes extremely hypothetical, as soon as you're in that space where it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like to predict. I mean, if we could predict people if we could predict, that somebody was becoming a murderer, what was the movie?
Oh yeah, Minority Report.
Minority Report.
Thought crimes, right? Yeah.
Fucking thought crimes. Like we have to worry. Like at thought crimes, I mean, oh my God, we're all in jail. So or we don't know, or how many. Like if we're already putting people away that didn't do it. Try starting putting people away or stopping people or impeding on people's lives and rights and well-being because you suspect so because they're tucking their hands under their cuffs or they're fucking wailing, against the wall or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like it's a problem for everybody.
There's a guy, Brian Entin Investigates is his YouTube channel, and he's been following this.
Did you want me to put this in the?
Yeah, would you? Okay,
yeah.
So he has a video about this where he goes into the actual reports. So if you guys want to know more about what Brian Kohberger was doing at the university that got him written up and had all of his colleagues freaked out, Brian Entin Reports does a really, really good breakdown of it.
All right, I'll put it in the chat notes.
But I found this
right
comment on Reddit that I thought was really interesting for why the victims' families probably won't prevail. Okay?
Yeah.
This guy, he is in the Idaho 4 subreddit. His username is Mastablasta.
Of course it is.
He says, I'm a higher education attorney here. I wouldn't take this case, and I'm not sure that any ethical attorney would. If it's real, their attorney is taking advantage of them. To recover on a negligence claim, you must demonstrate that the defendant owed a duty to the plaintiff.
Right.
And they breached that duty, causing harm and damages.
This makes sense to me.
Courts are very reluctant to expand the duties of universities because college students are dangerous. I guess I read that wrong. College students are dangerous. Courts are very reluctant to expand the duties of universities because college students are dangerous. They drink too much, they assault each other, they take drugs, etc. It's just a risky population to take on, and universities do not have direct oversight or control of their students. But as an employee, that's a little bit different. He wasn't just an attendant. A student. So generally, this guy continues, their duty to protect only extends to their students, faculty, and staff, incidents on university-owned or managed property, and university-sanctioned events or programs, with some exceptions like study abroad. They do not owe a duty to the general public unless the harm occurred on campus or at a university event. He says the only way I can see that WSU being liable would be if they were somehow made aware of Brian's plans to harm those specific people. Even if they thought he was dangerous, their duty is to protect their students, not every student in a 100-mile radius, because those the victims lived in the next town and went to a different university.
Oh, that's fine, but I mean, I would think there would still be liability potentially present if they knew some information ahead of time and didn't take any action whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to find any of that.
This
Like
person
that
says-
just is like I said, the longest shot ever.
WSU was documenting Brian's behavior and clearly working towards a dismissal, but students at public universities have due process rights. They can't just expel Brian because he's creepy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as simple as that.
Yeah.
You know, it's a process you go through, and you know, and unfortunately, his
And they're
mental health
saying,
declined faster than their process. Processed.
even if they had expelled him, it wouldn't have changed anything. His connection to the victims was not through the university, which again goes to duty and causation. Neither
And it
university.
may not have, like, we don't know, like, we don't know when he changes victims or how he changes victims. We know this, what he's obviously capable of in retrospect. And so, you know, if you expel him, okay, well, say you even successfully expel him before he has his breakdown and then he goes and kills somewhere else. It's just, like I said, you know, it becomes so hypothetical that you can't pin a liability down here, you know, without becoming the Minority Report. You know, it's just, you can't.
I know. You know, it's interesting, though, because I do believe that some of the people that he had harassed in his work at the university maybe do have a case, because they were really kicking the can down the road with Brian Kohberger's behavior.
Yeah, it's a weird situation because it's impossible to know that, like, their process, whether their process had moved too slowly or it was too lazy or whatever it was, like, you know, like missing facts or, you know, not documenting, not communicating, I don't know, whatever, any kind of thing, any kind of dysfunction within whatever their process is, you know, you'd still have to prove that, you know, that they would have known or could have known that he would have committed such a horrific crime for them to be liable for it. You can't go through life without knowing something that like something like that is going to happen and then be held liable for it at the same time. That's just nonsensical. It's just absolutely nonsensical. Now, as far as like their process and their due process, I guess you could try and sue them and say that their due process meant that he didn't get the help he wanted or whatever. But again, really, really big stretches because there's no reason for anyone to reasonably believe, you know, to reasonably, even try to predict that somebody's going to become a mass killer.
I think that there's also probably a play for a settlement here, because the university is not culpable, I don't believe, for any of his behavior.
Yeah, I mean, hard
They
to
may
prove.
be responsible for his behavior on campus to their own students, and there's a bunch of stories that are really heinous about that. But Brian Entin was interviewing somebody on that link that you just
So
shared.
those students might have a case, is what you're saying.
Right. But
Yeah.
so in that link that you just added the link
I
in
did.
the show notes? Okay, cool. So he interviews somebody who says that sorry, I just forgot. Let's see. Yeah, forgive me. I was just trying to clarify and then
And then it got kiboshed. Curtains went down.
let me see if I can recover it.
This is being live. This is what being live is all about.
I know.
There was somebody, we were on some kind of Reddit post and somebody was talking about us and I jumped in the conversation at some point and they said to me, yeah, no, I really like your lives. You know, even sometimes though you just like get derailed and I'm like, well, it's a live, you know,
Yeah, right.
it's not a written, we don't sit here and write and script. We don't have fucking teleprompters and,
I know.
you know, and, you know, we talk for 2 hours a day, every day. We try hard at this, you know, it's not perfect, but you know, we're going to do things like, you know, the record's going to skip every now and then.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just going to reference something that's in that Brian Entin Investigates video anyway, so you guys should go check that out because it's really informative.
Totally. One day we'll have like producers. We'll have like 6 or 7 producers. They'll all be behind glass.
I'll have a little earpiece.
We'll be like fishbowl. We'll be like fish in fishbowl. And,
You're
you
like,
know,
this just in.
we'll have writers, you know. Yeah, exactly. We'll be like TMZ. We'll be hanging around the cubicles. So what do you got? What do you got? Tell us what you got.
That's basically what it's like now.
You know, it's we're flawed. We're beautifully flawed, wonderfully, stupendously flawed. Okay, so I wish them luck. And you know, listen, grief is a motherfucker. and seeking
this is what I
and
was gonna
seeking
say.
justice. Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was going to say that the guy who he's interviewing in that video, he goes on to say that universities have a really, really fragile problem with their reputation, because when you choose a university, you've got a bunch of other universities to choose from, like almost always, right? So you want to make sure that you're going to a university that isn't harboring an actual serial killer,
Right.
some sort of like maniac.
Yeah.
And so if WSU has a bunch of publicity that said that they were hanging on to this man who was acting like a crazy person, and they weren't dealing with the problem, that's very, very bad for WSU's business. Mm-hmm. So it's possible that the family is trying to file this lawsuit that doesn't really have legs so that they can do reputational damage, strike a blow to WSU so that WSU settles with them for some amount of money.
Sounds like lawyering more than anything else, and if it has anything to do with that. And I was saying some interesting stuff. And by the way, I just want to point out that another criticism that I took was that my legal mind is a 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
And that my enthusiasm for my legal opinions is a 10 out of 10. But I am not a lawyer and have never professed to be.
Well, luckily we have lawyers in the chat that help us out all the
But
time.
I am a common sense thinker, and I think that gets me at least somewhere down that windy and very fucking pothole filled road. Deanne said, "I don't think their argument is that they failed to prevent the killing." Hanada is saying to Deanne, "I don't think that their argument is that they failed to prevent the killing, but that they failed to address someone already reported for inappropriate behavior towards women. That claim is strengthened by the killing because it's evident that he was indeed a menace to women, and they have reported him." But I think that the problem that I run into on a common sense level, which maybe there is laws that can slice that up, but from a common sense, that doesn't, just because women have reported him doesn't mean he's going to commit a crime. Like that's not like that. Those two things aren't correlated. And again, so he's got a right to due process and all that stuff. So I just, I'm not a lawyer as that person so pointed out, but it doesn't make a lot of common sense to me, But maybe they'll go in and Hanada's thumbs up on the settlement idea, but again, it's just weird to me that the families are sitting around and like conspiring to force universities into settlements, and obviously it's like lawyers doing that, and probably not the families.
This guy put it so well. He was like, the university doesn't have a duty to protect these plaintiffs.
No.
They must demonstrate that the defendant owed a duty to the plaintiff, and they breached that duty, causing harm and damages.
Yeah, or there, or I'd imagine there would be maybe possibly something for negligence in there somewhere where they were, by their virtue of their own negligence, the murder happened. But I just don't know how you're going to build that tunnel, dig that tunnel when there's no predicting that this man is going to commit any kind of crime, regardless, especially one so heinous. Like, it's just impossible to imagine. Mm-hmm. And you can't just I have met a lot of, I had a guy that worked with me that did some really, really, really weird shit. Do you know what I'm saying? And he had a drug problem, and I had to let him go. And then he broke into my fucking office, and it was bad. At no point did I ever think that he was going to, or that he would, I didn't think about him committing some kind of horrible, heinous crime against somebody. He might have done it. Who knows? If it had happened,
and it wouldn't have been your responsibility. If
it had happened, everybody would have went, yeah, well, what he used to do, and they would talk about his episodes that we all witnessed, right? But the fact is that he didn't harm anybody.
Yeah,
and that's, I think, typical of most situations, that these people are more harmful to themselves than they are to the environment around them, even if they are indeed impacting their environment negatively and harmfully.
Anyway, it's an interesting little pickle that these people are posing.
It is the grief that these people have to live through is unimaginable.
Oh yeah, and it was
wanting justice and wanting some kind of recognition for shit gone wrong.
The lawsuit was started
natural.
by Steve Gonsalves, the Kaylee Gonsalves' father,
who
was the most outspoken and the most angry of, I believe, the families. And then the lawsuit was joined by the other families. So what you're saying is is, I think, right. Like he has struggled the most in his grief. You know, when he said that he wanted Kohberger to say her name, I was like, you really need grief counseling, because I can't imagine anybody not recognizing that you would not actually want to hear your beloved lost loved one's name uttered by the person that took their life, like in your memory. Like I wouldn't. And I wouldn't recommend that to anybody.
It's a weird thing to it's a weird thing to you, and it's a thing that he needs, and this is the thing about grief. Like it grabs a hold of us in our own ways, and we all probably will experience it at some point, and I think when you do, you're faced with a part of you and your process that you've never been faced with before. And I think it changes the chemistry of your whole thinking pattern, or can.
Yeah, of course it does.
And the results are can be drastic. And this is a lot like grieving to me. And I'm glad that somebody said, well, lawyers shouldn't do this or whatever. But I'll tell you, man, when I was at one point I had people pitching me projects or whatever, and this person came to me and said, this guy really wants to pitch you this project. I don't think you're going to want this project, but he just wants to pitch it to you. And I was like, well, why don't you think I want it? And it was because it's about his family, whom he just lost in a car crash. And it was his wife and two daughters.
Recently?
He has wife and two daughters were killed in a car crash on the highway to Atlantic City, coming back from Atlantic City. And they were her two young daughters. And it was just horrific.
And he wrote a screenplay about it.
And so he wrote a screenplay.
I'm sure that was cathartic.
And then he wanted to meet with me to see if there was something that could be done with the screenplay. And man, I sat with this guy for like fucking maybe 3 hours. I mean, it was a long fucking meeting, and most of the time it was him crying.
Oh,
and he kept saying over and over again, I'm just I just can't let their memory die. I can't let their memory.
No.
I'm the only person who holds their memory. How can I be the only person? I can't be the only person left to hold their memory. I have to put their memory out. It was crushing.
Yeah,
it was it was a really difficult thing to process and to like. I cried with the dude. I was like, look, and I gave him assurances that I knew were ridiculous, and I placated and I helped him. So who's to say that this lawyer who, everyone, who's looking out from the inside or outside from looking in from the outside, they might, look at this lawyer and go, what a fucking, shark. Or he might just have just so much compassion that he knows he's just doing nothing but spinning dirt, his own dirt, because it's contingency. If he's able to provoke a settlement, you never know that he doesn't sit down and have the meeting and go, guys, just throw something at them and just like give them closure, give them some kind of closure here, Who knows? It's just that we don't know how deep the story can go. It's just on the surface we can see it as this and we can see it as that and we can be analytical of it, but you never know where compassion might be at play.
That's tough, man.
Yeah.
These poor people.
Fuck, man. I just I think about that man and I'm almost brought to tears every time. He's hard to think about because his grief is so hard.
Yeah.
It's just
he's very wounded. Yeah.
And the trouble it's causing his whole body, like he's so unwell because physically he's so unwell, and he's taking years and years and years off his life potentially, and not that he cares one bit. But,
it's such an interesting thing to witness because you can relate to absolutely everything he's doing.
For sure.
I don't think that he's making the right choices, but I'm like, I get it. Completely.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is no such thing as right or wrong choices.
To
exactly. The choices that he's making are tough. They're hard. There's no right or wrong. It's just like, because he, that's the thing about grief is that to the extent, at least, that it's not evidently harmful or self-harming, you got to let people grieve the way they figure out the grief, because they're inconsolable and they're never going to have your perspective. They can't adopt it. They can't adapt to it. That's not how grief works. I mean, grief grips you by the neck and it doesn't let you go. Mm-hmm. So you have to deal with it that way. You have to deal with it, as a most aggressive, emotion and state. It's fierce, and they're going through it in the biggest way. And so, yeah, I mean, you know, if you're the praying kind, pray, because they are hurting bad, man. And you know, yeah, I mean, maybe in the end, this is just about a lawyer saying, "Man, I got you. Let's do this. I got you. Let's just do this. Fuck the university." But yeah, I think it's going to be a tough actual hill to climb if that's in fact the hill they want to climb. So I was on this sub earlier. Are we moving on?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I was on this sub. By the way, before we move on, we didn't watch any movies this weekend because we're watching this fucking traitor shit. We're watching traitor shit. We watched the whole season, the whole first season.
It's a competition show. It's a reality TV show.
On Peacock.
And what happened was, I always forget his name. I always want to call him Tom Sizemore, and he's not. What the fuck?
Alan Cumming?
No.
What?
No, he's on the newest season, and somebody shared a clip. Everybody hates him. He's
Michael Rappaport?
Yes. Michael Rappaport. I don't know why I have like a space where his name should be in my head.
Because he's so irrelevant.
I'm always eager to join everybody in their derision of Michael Rappaport, and so apparently he's on the newest season. And I was like, just immediately I was like, let's just jump in. But I didn't want to watch the new season without watching the old one, so we started from the top. Anyway, Dale and I have been binge watching Traitors.
Well, because the reason we do that is because we know that, like,
and it's ridiculous.
In subsequent seasons,
I can't even recommend it because it's so dumb.
Well, it's kind of trashy game show television shit.
I know, but you love the concept, and Alan Cumming is the host, and he's wonderful.
It's hilarious, man. It's like, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who might want to check it out, but like, you know, it's just it's a game that you play where you lie to each other incessantly and cunningly in order to try and win $250,000. And
such a small amount too. Jeez.
It's a stinking little amount of money, $250,000, and they're like, "Why do you want to win this? Because it's going to change my life." No, it's not. I mean, it will for the minute. But it's $250,000, bro. Unless you're like really smart and you like buy some Bitcoin at 28,000.
Who knows? Smart.
Slow Car says Michael Rappaport seems to be a genuinely bad dude. I have run into him on more than one occasion, and I never liked him. And he treated me like fucking trash on one occasion, and he even talked shit about me like while I was sitting there, like not at me, right? Where I think I told the story. We're at a Rolling Stones concert. And fucking,
he talked shit about you within.
He turned around to Jeremy Sisto and he goes, "What the fuck you doing here with that guy for?" Because this was after Don's Plum, man.
Fuck you,
and I'm sitting in, and we're watching the Rolling Stones at fucking Dodger Stadium. There's like fucking Juliette Lewis is there. It's like the whole like celebrity section.
Why is he trying to ruin your vibe, bro? Everybody's having a nice time.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Yeah, it's a new song I just wrote. You like it? It's called "Fuck That Guy." He's not for me, man. That guy's not for me. I also find him genuinely annoying. Just, you know, in general, like I just, you know, I just don't know how anybody puts up with that guy for more than 3 minutes. Because I just like immediately be like, "Will you shut the fuck up? Will you just shut up?"
I think that there's like several different types of New Yorkers that are kind of like on the annoyance spectrum that are just, you kind of just have to appreciate the character.
I like the "I'm walking here" guys. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I like those guys.
Yeah.
Not the guys like are shouting at the fucking cops.
Like how we were talking about how there's like annoyance spectrum of Los Angeles too, where like there's people like Baldoni who talk about how that Jamie Heath was pouring into her to make her feel better. Like what is that language?
Yeah,
bro?
no. What is that? We were going over that again today because it just hit hard.
So aggressively annoying.
Aggressively annoying. What is that language? He was really pouring into her. What does that mean? What are you talking about? Man. Is he a pitcher? What is that?
I hate it. There's no good reason to hate it. I just hate it.
I do too. Annoying. I do. It bothers me. I don't understand it. You know, it's like whatever. But he's otherwise well spoken. I mean, I thought like as revealing as revealing as Justin Baldoni's deposition has been, and I find it utterly fascinating. As revealing as it's been, you know, one of the things revealed for me is that he's otherwise intelligent. Like
he's a gifted speaker.
He's a gifted speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he puts together really great, way better than me. His sentences are all complete and shit.
Well, he's a Virgo rising.
Yeah.
And he has a bunch of strong placements in his third house, which is thinking and communication. So he would be.
Well, you wouldn't believe it, but I've got a strong third house as well.
You wouldn't believe it? Why?
With the stellium. Well, comparatively, like I can articulate.
No. I mean, when you read your deposition,
I'm a passionate
you're
ranter.
extremely well spoken and clear in your deposition.
I suppose that's true.
You're very focused. It's like, you guys are. What?
Let's see. Is that true? Mm-hmm. Well, Mr. Connolly has lied on several occasions. Let me see. One occasion would be when he and I had a conversation in his car after we went to Dalt's, and he and I had the conversation regarding what would happen if Leo didn't approve Don's plum. He took what I told him. First of all, in that conversation, I said, look, Kevin, this isn't a big deal, because he kept pressing for the answer, and I said, look, this isn't a big deal to me, but if you want to, if you want to hear this, I'll tell you this. I gave him, I gave him my view of that issue. And before doing that, I said, Kevin, this is between you and me. If you want to bring this up with RD, because it directly involves RD, certainly do so, because I'm speaking on behalf of RD here as well. But this is between you and me and RD. I mean, I think I'm fucking sound ridiculous. I think I'm scared as shit.
Yeah, you sound scared.
I think I sound terrified. And he said, absolutely, between you and I. And then 40 minutes later, he called Leo up, and he's obviously not a man of his word, and then twisted my words to Leo, where getting Leo all upset. I certainly didn't say where. So that's one instance that I recall.
You don't think you were well spoken there?
Not very.
I
was nervous. I think I was like terrified. Oh, here, I'm well spoken here. I don't. Not at that time.
You did your signature halting in the very middle of a sentence.
Yeah.
And then saying, well, first of all, or by the way, So in that answer that you read, you backed up once and then you backed up another time. So you're like, and then before that.
Here's another big
instead
win.
of starting at the beginning.
Here's another big win for them on me. Question: what about what? What were the lies that you knew Mr. Suplee had made concerning the film? And then my answer is, it's hard to remember them specifically. The night commonly referred to as the verbal bludgeoning, Entin Suplee chimed in a few times, just blatantly lying. I'm trying to remember the specific lies, but they were just blatant. I can't remember the specific lies. There were numerous lies that you cannot remember any of them. I just, I can't right now.
I do.
I'm sure I will eventually, but I just cannot right now.
You do, yeah. You and luckily other people were there, and so they so the lies that you're talking about Entin Suplee bringing up,
yeah,
was that you guys had genital shots of Leonardo DiCaprio. One of the things that Entin Suplee says in these depositions that is so bonkers is they had concocted this conspiracy theory that you guys had filmed imagery of DiCaprio's junk, because when he was on set filming Don's Plum, he's wearing these jeans that have a big hole in the crotch.
Like, it's not even a hole. It's like you could park a car in it. It's
a giant tear in the crotch.
Yeah.
And he's wearing boxer shorts underneath them. So and of course you guys have this like black and white film with high contrast, so you can't see anything. It's all dark. But whenever the camera's in front of him and it's low, there's a scene in the bar where the camera's in front of him and
he's wearing very long boxers underneath.
Oh, okay. Well, you can't even see because it's dark.
Yeah, they're very long, and they're like those those thin ones with the waistband.
It doesn't matter
Well, it does, because you can see his testicles.
You can't.
You can see them moving and everything.
You cannot see his testicles.
You can, but you can't see them. You can see them through the cloth. You can.
No, you can't see his testicles.
You can. I can show it to you.
Okay, but listen, this is what I'm saying. It's in the movie.
I know every frame of it. Trust me.
I know, but it's in the. I know what you guys are seeing is shadows, right?
I know what I'm seeing.
So when the camera's in front of him and it's low, he is sitting there with his knees open.
Correct.
He's just like sitting there like a dude sits.
Yeah.
Okay. And so for some reason, after all of this controversy broke out with you guys, Entin Suplee had twisted up in his mind that you guys had somehow secretly
took off his pants,
nefariously decided to get on footage imagery of his junk. Okay. But like, you had the camera set up when he sat there, and he chose to wear those pants, and he chose to open his knees, and like, I don't know what he thinks that you guys did in secret.
It was absurd.
So weird.
But yeah, it was Leo's. That was Leo's wardrobe. Like he brought those jeans.
Yes,
those
I
were
know,
his
and
jeans.
so that's why that was a lie that Ethan told in the bash.
But you can see, and why I think happened to him, to Ethan, is because, and Leo, everyone sees it. You can see it in the movie. There's a shot that's a low shot, and it's up on his crotch. His legs are spread, and his boxers are really like when you take like a saran wrap and then it just sucks your whole face and you can see your whole face. Well, that was like his junk. And like to the extent that you could literally see his balls moving when he's talking, because like sometimes when we talk, our balls will just move.
Oh my God.
I'm just giving you an anatomy lesson because it's true. Well, you can see that in his things. And so we talked about that like ever so slightly during the cut, and we showed it to Leo. I mean, Leo saw it. It's very obvious. It was all approved.
So maybe he told them that you guys had genital shots, and not in a way that he gave a shit.
Yeah, I mean, it was just him. It was him. I think his memory like reconstructed it into something, some kind of nefarious act.
No, he
by
never
us.
brought it up. Ethan brought it up.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
Ethan was
Ethan.
upset about it.
I'm saying Ethan can reconstruct this because it's like the witch hunt is out. You've got the fucking pitchforks
So
out, and you're like,
saying that
and you guys took shots of his genitals.
Oh, so absurd.
Which is just absurd because he's
can't
like,
see anything.
And it's just so weird because like Ethan Suplee is an actor. He knows how this fucking works. He knows that Leo's a part of the whole process.
Mm-hmm.
That Leo's the one sitting there. It's like, what was that? This happened after Don's Plum, and in my mind, I believed that it had something to do with Don's Plum. I think it's called Boomerang, the Eddie Murphy movie where Eddie Murphy plays two characters. Where his twin brother or some shit is. Where they're stealing his image for a movie. I don't know, forget how it went. I saw it briefly. Pardon me.
I remember that.
You don't remember that?
I do.
Yeah. So, it's not like that. We can't fucking steal these shots off of human beings. It's just not possible. We can't exploit a human being. The exploitation of that person would have had to have occurred, to get him on set with his balls out to begin with. Like that's,
Also, so your camera, can you show us with your hands how big the camera setup was?
Well, it's a 60 millimeter film camera with a fucking big lens. No, because I'm in a little box.
So do you think there's any way that Leo could possibly not know where the camera is in the room?
No, no.
Okay.
It's
just fucking weird.
It was
right?
feet from him. It was like,
I know.
like a matter of feet from him.
I know, it's very strange.
No, it's not.
But
possible.
they had to invent all these reasons to be angry with you guys because what they were doing to you made no sense.
We're also rolling film, actual film. Like this isn't like, video era where I can just turn a camera on and like pretend it's not on. Hey, so say something really incriminating. Do something really incriminating. Like that's not how film works. We were when you actually burn film through a film camera, it makes a sound. It goes zzz, you hear all of that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Stacy says, preach, Dale.
Preach. That's probably when I was doing on the well, I just think it's important that we don't like discourage good shit from happening. Why would we do that? I mean, who cares if it's not effective? Don't stop. Okay, we try again. We do a different thing. We get louder. We get, whatever. Man. Don't forget to like the live. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to help us if you can. Grow. We want to grow. We want to, I don't even think we're out of our leaves yet. What are they called? Pilot leaves? What are they? When you plant something.
I don't know what they're called. Like the little starter leaves that always look all wonky, and then the true leaves come out.
Yeah, we got no true leaves yet.
We don't have any true leaves.
We need some true leaves.
But the starter leaves are really important because they're eating while the roots are growing. So the roots are growing underneath.
So here's what happened today that I thought was so fucking interesting. I was talking about, I was dealing with somebody online, and the topic was about what was it? It was about Lively's.
Yes.
It was.
What was the topic? The topic was, it started out as talking about, you have to remember.
Oh God, I can't believe I did.
I remember where it went to.
Well, where'd it go to?
The first AD. Oh yes.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about the conversation was about the closed set, right? So somebody asked me on Reddit.
Oh yeah,
about a closed set.
Okay, and I was asking you too.
Well, let me set this all up.
I remember now. Okay.
So I got asked about a closed set, about how it really works and how one of these things can get fucked up. And I was going over the basic hierarchy of what I would understand to be a protocol for a closed set, right? And so the person who runs a set, the core, the heart, the center of a set at any given moment would be the first AD, for sure. Right? Even above the director, above the DP. These are all obviously incredibly important people on a set. But the actual heartbeat of a set is the first AD.
Because they move around everywhere, right?
Well, not just that. They schedule everything. They know every single detail of every single thing that's happening in any single moment in the making of a movie. I mean everything. I mean down to the if there's something special going on with what has to be like props or wardrobe or continuity. Like they're on top of everything. They are the most meticulously talented and trained people I've ever seen in my life. They're amazing people. The people who can be great first ADs are just incredible human beings.
Because they're the assistant to the director.
You could say they are that. That's what they're called, but they're really the assistant to the entire production.
Neat.
They run everything. You know, when you in my book, when you hear about, when you hear the guy calling out "Quiet, please," and telling us what our schedule is, and so they're the ones that are responsible for knowing everything that's going on set in any given moment, and they schedule the shoots, they arrange everything. I mean, they're fucking amazing human beings. So.
So you had answered this person online.
So what I said was that, so the person on that set on It Ends With Us who would have been in charge of the closed set and monitoring the closed set would have been certainly the first AD, not necessarily only the first AD by any means. The producers could certainly play that role. I would take that role on my own movie. I would never not be aware of who and who shouldn't be on a closed set if it was my movie as a producer. Mm-hmm. But that's not necessarily the case in any other movie. Some producers are very hands-off in that way. This is what makes first ADs so powerful and so invaluable. This is true also for line producers. But line producers I won't get into it. So when that closed set was a fail for Blake Lively, she's going to know that the first AD was at least in part responsible for that. And you pointed it out earlier, which was so fucking cool of you, because you were like, well, wait a second. Blake Lively apparently complained and then got fired a first AD on the set. And then you went and checked to verify because you believed that that firing took place after the birthing scene.
Yes.
Where the set was supposed to be locked down.
Yes.
So it's entirely plausible. This is very interesting.
We don't know because nobody has explained.
But it's entirely plausible that Blake Lively wanted that first AD booted off the set because she didn't lock down her set when she was in a compromised position.
Yeah. If the first AD is responsible for executing the closed set protocols, then, and if the closed set protocols were not executed, then Blake Lively would have been like, we need to replace this first AD, because it is true that
Blake Lively knows whose responsibility that closed set was.
It's true that the intimate scenes that they had planned to film were going to be later in the production, right? We know this.
Yeah.
So it's possible that she was like, I need to get a better, more responsible first AD on this production before I have to get naked and do, sex scenes with Baldoni. I want a closed set then, and I'm going to need one. Because this closed set for the birthing scene apparently was like, it was Justin Baldoni's own friend who was trying to show her support and show pictures of having visited the set where she said nothing wrong happened and she's supporting him. But then she is the one who exposed through her photographic evidence that this set that was supposed to be closed that entire day had not been.
Yeah, she would know that it was the first.
She blew the case wide open.
Anyway, it's a really great observation, and it's got a very decent, plausible.
I went looking for.
It's decently plausible.
These. Let me just find this.
These are like two words I don't think this should really actually go together. Decently plausible.
Okay, so these.
Except in dialogue, of course.
So in Justin Baldoni's timeline document is the only time that he's doing all this bitching about having to replace his first AD because Blake Lively said so. So May 20. Sorry. May 22nd, I think. Yes, May 22nd is the birthing scene, okay?
Yeah.
And then on May 29th, Wayfarer, he says, Wayfarer was made aware that Lively had placed a call to the film's Sony executive, Ange Gianetti, to share a few grievances. And he lists in his timeline document that the grievances were Baldoni's sexy comment about the wardrobe of her character Lily, okay? That Heath had showed her a post-home birth video, okay? So that was the day after the birthing scene, and the same day as that dance montage that we were talking about. Are you with me?
Yeah.
And Lively shared her grievances about the first AD and suggested that she be replaced. The first AD and the second AD, who is also a woman, were shortly thereafter let go. So here in Baldoni's document, he is exploiting the fact that Blake Lively told Ange Gianetti at Sony executive, that she wanted the first AD replaced, suggested, that's how they say, first AD, Lively shared her grievances about the first AD, suggested that she be replaced. But he is framing it as if she wanted the first and second to be replaced because they're women, or that it has something to do with them being women, or that he wants to make sure everybody knows that they're women and that they're being fired by Blake Lively. It turns out that he does not actually say why she wanted them replaced.
Yeah, well, maybe that's a part of why maybe he doesn't want to say why. Do you think they'd ask?
But here, June 3rd, so that's several days later, after facing pressure from Sony, so he still dragged his feet, right? He heard about this. She wants the first AD replaced. He's been working for her. He's continued to work in this production for another week without doing it. And so he says in his timeline document, June 3rd, after facing pressure from Sony and one of the film's producers who believed Lively was no longer responding favorably to the first assistant director, Baldoni and Heath made the difficult decision to dismiss the first AD, despite feeling she was being unfairly scapegoated. In their text exchange, both expressed.
I'll tell you, man, what a fucking, it just sounds like such clownery to me.
Yeah.
You know? Right. And look, I mean.
And then later on,
I don't know the circumstances why Blake Lively wanted this AD done, and apparently neither do they.
If he thinks she's being scapegoated, then who?
Scapegoated for what?
Isn't it his role to clarify for her?
It'd be interesting because
who's responsible?
Scapegoating, because if the scapegoat is about the closed set.
Is it about the closed set?
Is it?
Because Justin Baldoni invited his friend to come and see his set. So is it that the first AD is being scapegoated by Blake Lively and he's not clarifying it because then he would have to take the blame? Do you know what I mean?
Or just
did his actions result in his first AD being fired unjustly?
It is an interesting choice of words.
Right?
Yes.
I know. He is evading all responsibility. And then he keeps going on about it. There's several points about this. He wants to make sure everybody knows that Blake Lively is responsible, and it makes them all really uncomfortable. So June 5th, 2 days after that conversation, Baldoni, still feeling terrible about letting the first AD go, shared that he wanted to reach out. Below is the text exchange between Baldoni and Heath where they're trying to figure out what message to send her, and what they finally decide on is this. So I'm going to read it to you. But again, they wanted everybody to see this so that they can just make Blake Lively the bad guy when he was the one who fired her. Okay?
Yeah. Well, it's his job to fire her. It still could have been Blake Lively's.
I understand, but and we also aren't being told why. It could be very valid reasons. Okay? So he says, he includes here, he's writing to his first AD. This is a draft. He's workshopping it with Heath, but this is what they come up with. I just want you to know that I love and appreciate you deeply. This whole thing has been a heartbreaking mess. I know this must be hard, and I'm so sorry. Hopefully we can have a conversation at some point when you feel it to be appropriate, but for now I simply wanted to tell you that I appreciate you and I'm so very sorry. This is not your fault, and not that you need it, but Jamie and I and everyone at Wayfair will always be defenders of you, your work ethic, skill, and heart. Love, Justin. What do you make
It's
of
so
that?
funny that he said that he thinks that she's being scapegoated while scapegoating.
This is not your
he's
fault.
literally scapegoating right there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. He said, this is not your fault.
Yeah.
So But he's never telling
So
us.
whose fault is it?
Well, what is it? What is this?
Yeah.
What happened?
Just get right down to the fucking epic.
Nobody is
What is it? It's it.
Nobody's telling us why this first AD was like, oh, what was the beef that started it all? What happened? Justin Baldoni doesn't want us to know. That's not an important detail. But making sure that we can read how upset he is and how he's trying to console very, very softly and gently his first AD that he just fired. That's very important for us to know. Like, I just can't with this dude. What happened? What's the story?
Yeah. He's got nothing.
So that's my guess, is that she was pissed that the set wasn't closed when it was supposed to be. And you're
If that
saying,
was it, that's a major deal. Like that's like that would be, look, that would certainly be an offense where an actor who is doing a lot of uncomfortable shit,
yeah,
like sex scenes
or
and
like
makeout
pretending
scenes.
to give birth. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying, but like knowing that there are more coming, do you know?
Oh yeah, right.
That she would be like, I can't depend on you. You're undependable. And, because that's a big fucking deal. I told you the story about when we were shooting the scene between Jenny Lewis and Scott Bloom, and Jenny Lewis just wanted one of our ADs out of the room. She was our second AD.
She's just like bad vibes.
She was like, I want her. She has to get out of this room. And we didn't fire her from the movie, but we definitely kicked her off the set. And there wasn't even any intimacy going on. She just didn't want her on the set because of the vibe she was giving her, which I don't even know what that was. I was like, what are we doing?
But you're like, okay, I guess we'll do that.
So I just said, look, not dissimilar to Baldoni there. I was just like, look, I don't know what's happening, but you can't be on the set right now, So you go over there and you wait for us. And I'm sorry, but we didn't fire her.
Do you want to hear from the chat?
Yeah.
Hinata was saying about Kohberger. Brian Kohberger had 13 formal complaints at his job at that university. One college advisor started discussing his behavior weekly. College security and police had been arranged to escort women that had been followed by him. Those instances could justify up to expelling him because he blocked women and followed them to their cars.
Yeah, but we don't know that their testimony isn't going to be that his that they were going to expel him, or that his expulsion was imminent. Like, we don't know that they could easily just take the stand, and they probably do have.
They did.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Hinata continued, circumstantial behavior like staring, posts, comments, wouldn't grant action, but blocking passage and following to the cars, yes. Also, he was apparently looking up like pornography and stuff on his work computer and stuff at the university.
Dude, don't even get me started about that. I made the mistake of, I was running this .com, and I went to my IT guy and I was like, look, I just want to can you tell me if there's any of that going on? And he was like, yeah, because I had my suspicions. And it was everybody. I thought it was one dude. I thought it was one dude. No, in my company, yeah. It was everybody. I was like, what? He's like, it's everyone. And I was
all
like,
the time, all day long.
while we're at work. And he's like, some it's after hours. And I'm like, oh my God.
So what'd you do?
I put blocks up. I blocked it. Yeah, I blocked it.
Did they come in the next day all mad?
Nobody said anything because they're too fucking embarrassed, but I blocked it. Of course I blocked it. Dude, you have one person walk in on somebody doing that, and it's trouble. It's big trouble. Right. So I got rid of that right away, of course.
So funny. You're such a party pooper, Dale.
Yeah.
That's funny. They're like, God, I hate this boss. He doesn't even let me have any fun. That's so funny. It was everybody. You're like, even you, Darla?
Everybody. It was just, I think there might have been like one or two people, but I was just, my jaw was dry. I couldn't believe it because I thought I was, okay, I'm going to catch it. This guy's name was Mark. I was like, I'm going to catch Mark, dude. Because I think something's up. And she was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, Mark is. And I was like, I knew it. And he's like, everybody is. I was like, oh my God.
What were you going to do if you caught him? That sounds so awkward.
Well, I was just going to be like, hey.
What the fuck is that?
I want you to know that we know what you're doing. Uh-huh. You're going to stop, or you're going to be like, I'm going to let you go. I was just that.
Dale.
I wasn't even sure how I was going to handle it. I needed to, first of all, know if it was happening.
You got to be, you can really kill somebody's boner like that. You got to be careful. I'm kidding.
Precisely the goal. So anyway, that's a very interesting theory. Thank you for coming up with it while we were sitting here today in our living room, and I was just going over this question with this guy. I'm saying it's a guy. This person who asked, this
It's a good question.
Very good question.
Who's responsible for the closed set protocol?
Yeah.
Right. So that if they fuck it up, then, But I just think it's really interesting that he said, this is not your fault in the text to her.
That is a very, very peculiar thing.
But he fired her. And so why is he not sticking up for her with the person who wanted her fired? Like, it seems like I would absolutely, I would not get over getting a fucking message like that. Being like, oh, it's a little bit fucking late to say this isn't my fault.
Alex Sachs talks about firing of the first AD in her depo. We'll have a look. Thank you, Kiki.
Oh, yeah. Let me look this up. Since we're on this topic. Talk amongst yourselves.
I don't know what we're talking about. Oh, they're laughing. I think they're laughing about Leo's balls.
Leo's balls.
Leo was very, what do you call that? He was an exhibitionist, a bit of an exhibitionist, really. I saw all his body parts, and I didn't want to. I didn't need to, but I did. He was definitely not shy about, I honestly, I thought it was like, oh, these guys are so uninhibited. Like me, I'd be like, I would never do that. And there they are, balls and ass.
Okay, so Alex Sachs is talking about how the first AD, we started the shoot with a very weak first AD, is what Alex Sachs says.
Yeah. Of course they love her. This is what I'm talking about. They're inexperienced, bro. Like Alex Sachs produced 22 movies.
This is this really, really great rundown. What are your expectations for how a first AD on a film set performs?
Yeah.
And you were like, couldn't have said this better myself. That they are hyperactive, in constant communication with all departments, understanding the timeline of any given day, in addition to the prep work to get to that given day. They're also in lockstep with the director and DP on what the shot list is for the entire day. Yeah,
they literally huddle up before the day starts and they go over it intricately before the first frame is. They get on the same page. They
also should have a really acute understanding of the hair and makeup timings and how the actors are going to be operating on set in terms of needing rehearsal, not needing rehearsal, how long it takes for their hair, makeup,
background,
costumes to
everything.
Be done. They are the clock of the day.
Fucking A.
It's Alex Sachs, everybody.
They are the clock of the day.
Total fucking professional.
Perfectly said in every way. I just kept adding to it just to feel important, but perfectly said.
Yeah.
Not Darla.
But Alex Sachs does not discuss the firing of the first AD. Or at least in the... I'm sorry.
This is like the big fucking mystery. It's like a weak first AD. Well, one of the weaknesses of a first AD,
I should clarify. Alex Sachs doesn't talk about the firing of the first AD in the little bit of the deposition that I have.
I see.
We don't see the whole thing.
Yeah, we get the full boat. But anyway, the first AD, if she's a highly incompetent first AD, then one of her incompetencies could have very well been, it would have been how she runs her set. So. Dude, I don't know. It's so interesting. Like, if we had a bad first AD on any production I was on, gone immediately.
Yeah, but if they have to be so skilled, how do you replace them? Who do you replace them with?
Well, so you're going to a different crew member now. So the first AD, you
promote somebody?
You get you get your first ADs typically from your line producers, who are the
who's good, right?
Well, so what? Let me just say, a line producer. It's not just that. Yes, the answer is yes. Those are the people like back in the day before there was like before we were on phones and had Rolodexes, had our entire Rolodexes, on our fucking Google profile. Back in the day, they had like just black books and Rolodexes, and a line producer a line producer will sit there while the production's going on and be replacing the crew that turns over, because crew turns over just like in any other job. So, you're sitting there shooting and, you might lose a key, you might lose. Fuck, I lost my key grip on fucking small group from one week to the next because a job came up and there was, paid way better than mine and off they went.
Right.
So people get different jobs and that'll happen in, like, for example, like if you're working with Spielberg's first AD and then all of a sudden Spielberg's like, I need you now. Trust me, that dude's dropping whatever he's doing. Sure. So, it's all on the line producer. The short answer is your line producer will find your replacements like they do for every crew member that needs to be replaced during production.
Let's see. Hanada and Deanne are having a constructive conversation in the chat about Kohberger and the university received and how he received 13 formal complaints.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I mean, those might have led to, might have been leading to an imminent, action. I still think it's probably a pretty long shot that they're going to be able to create culpability out of that.
Deanne was talking about how, let me see if I could find this comment. I'm sorry, I can't remember who said this exactly, but there's a culture of secrecy in university campuses.
Yeah.
It's a really big problem when crimes happen. Oh yeah, here, sorry, it was Potato said universities don't have a great track record on acting on complaints. But Brian Entin in the video that you added in the
show notes, yeah.
Yeah, thanks. The person he's interviewing is talking about how there's this new law that was passed. Apparently, a university had not been public about how they were harboring some sort of violent criminal or something, who they knew about before a woman had joined the university and then was murdered by this person who was previously known by the university to be a bad guy. And so there's a new law where universities have to divulge all of the crimes that happen on campus. Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah, I mean, as they should, so that's cool.
Right, but it's like that they needed a law that universities were just deciding we're just not going to tell what if we don't tell anybody about this?
Yeah,
it would be a PR disaster if people knew crimes were happening here. So what if we just didn't do anything about the crimes? What if nobody knew?
Yeah, this is the problem with capitalism being everything, in everything.
Yeah.
Because universities have to make money and
But I don't think that Kohberger was committing crimes before. This is another.
Yeah, complaints and crimes are different things, obviously. Right. And while, some people might sit incredulously and say, how could you keep this guy around or whatever they did do that they're claiming might be a culpable act here. I don't think they're going to find culpability in that.
I think that Hanada's bringing up.
I'm a fucking layman and I don't know, but I just don't see it.
Hanada's bringing up a really good point. She says, I believe Brian Kohberger wasn't a person of interest for months. The university never shared their suspicions with the police. So one thing that the police investigators did find out was that it was a really, really high profile case. Everybody knew about it, obviously, when the murders happened. And then Kohberger's behavior completely changed.
Yeah.
From, overnight, from before the murders to after the murders. And he started wearing extra long clothing, like he was trying to cover wounds. And I just think it's really fucking bonkers that nobody, after his history of behavior, when everybody in that department sort of noticed that he was fucking not well, right? And he was doing weird shit. That nobody tried to tell the police about how he was behaving. And how he suddenly...
But what are you going to tell... okay, you tell the police. And what did they do? What did they do? Because if he hasn't committed a crime...
Well,
what did they do?
They were investigating him eventually, so maybe they would have investigated him a little sooner. It wouldn't have changed the outcome.
But what would the investigation...
It wouldn't have changed the outcome, but it may have meant that the community could find out that the killer was detained sooner.
He was so...
There was a really, really long manhunt, and everybody was terrified in the community. So it might have...
Okay, well that's he got they caught him pretty quick. And he didn't commit any additional crimes before they caught him. But here's the thing about that: it's Kohberger might have, he might have accelerated his plan to carry out these acts because these complaints were mounting. Maybe he started to feel that pressure of his imminent expulsion. And so then he, decided, hey, it's now or never. You know what I mean? He might have known his days were numbered. And
apparently they believe that he was stalking one of his colleagues and visiting her house. because she kept hearing weird noises and then summoning her husband back home, and then he would come home and then they'd see a white car drive off.
That could be a great name for a novel.
What?
Weird noises.
Weird noises. Yeah.
Just hit me.
Get on it.
No, I'm busy. Oh my God.
Hinata says, I don't think that their argument is that they failed to prevent the killing, but that they failed to address someone already reported for inappropriate behavior toward women. That claim is strengthened by the killings because it's evident that he was indeed a menace to women, and they have reported him.
I just think that, that doesn't mean that he was going to commit a crime. Like, just a menace, harassing even, if there were no acts of violence, if there were no actual laws broken, then I don't know. I know, right? I just wonder what they had at their disposal. We got
a compliment from Slowcar. Said, for people who haven't been doing this for all that long, the show's quality is insanely good.
Oh, thanks.
How do you like that?
I like that.
That's all Dale. I didn't do any of it. I can't take credit for a single thing around here.
It's weird being alive though, because like I know that we're obviously
it's weird being alive. Yeah, this is true generally.
Like, what I mean to say is that it's weird doing a live because doing a live allows us to really mess up, and like I've made like lots of mistakes, like where I've said things where I'm like, fucking wish I hadn't said that.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm recorded saying some real dumb shit.
That whole interaction with Guilty Angel like totally changed the way I approach lives.
Yeah, you're doing your own media training. You're just like,
it was like media training.
Camp.
Yeah, well, I don't want to like miss out on the people I love so much here. I mean, it was sad to lose her. She's a good kid. I think she shouldn't have gone personally, but if her leaving means that I became better at this, then I thank her for it.
Slowcar says that you're on the big TV tonight. Your shelf looks magnificent.
Yeah, look at you.
I actually should start dusting.
Look at the monkey.
I realize I have not been doing set maintenance.
Oh, that's true. I haven't. There's dog hair down here. You're right. Yeah. Oh, shit.
Somebody's going to notice on the big TV.
I was on the big TV. I saw myself on a big TV. I told you guys this.
Oh, I know. You took a picture.
So many wrinkles.
Dale took a picture of himself at his friend's house on the big TV, and then he showed it to me, which was a big mistake. And ever since, I've been self-conscious.
I got to put the cucumbers on. I keep forgetting.
You got to put the cucumbers on, babe.
By the way, when are we gonna resume Baldoni's deposition? We need to finish that. We got all these
we do need to finish it. There's so much more.
Yeah.
I am riveted every time that we do it. So anytime you want me to jump back in, I'm even open to doing weekend editions just for that until we're through. But I know that you probably enjoy having a weekend off.
Yeah. Well, here's what as far as I think. For everyone, it's probably best if we could just do them, all in a single session. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
what?
Well, what I mean to say is like doing a standard, like where we do an hour of everything else and then do like a little of the Baldoni depositions doesn't really work great.
Yeah. I mean, so here we are, it's 7:30 our time.
Yeah.
And so, already there's only a half hour left if you wanted to jump into them now.
No, see, this is what I'm saying. I don't want to do that because then they're spread out over all these different lives. And I'd rather that people had the ability to go and listen to the whole depositions in 4 videos rather than 8 different videos. Yeah, so maybe
what we could do if
especially 8 different videos that have like all different kinds of shit in there.
We could do it tomorrow and do like the whole session be a reading if nothing else is happening in the news, but that's probably a long shot.
What do you guys want? Do you guys want to hear the depositions now and in full?
Well, we're going to record them.
No, I know, but I'm saying like tomorrow, or would you like just to go with our normal format of talking shit for an hour and then doing our shit?
What is your question? You got to clarify your question.
That didn't work, did it?
What are you offering?
I'm saying like, do you guys want us to have like full live sessions reading the entire deposition?
Like
or would you prefer having like half the day being a depo and the other half being our normal nonsense? Nonsense like Poison singer Bret Michaels kills 40th anniversary tour by demanding 6 times the bandmates' share, says the drummer.
Why?
What a dick. He's a dick because he's like, because I'm Bret Michaels. Was it something I said or something I did? Did my words not come out right?
Keep going.
I mean, I tried. And I said that was it.
Every
Rose has its own. Come on now. Sing it with me.
Just like...
Yeah. Dude, that was like the campfire song of whatever year that was.
It's
Oh
so
my
great.
God.
Oh
I was
my
just
God.
sitting at a fucking campfire. Not again. Not again. You did that yesterday 3 times.
I love that. I love that song so much because you're right. Because I'm like, you're right, Brett Michaels. Every cowboy does sing a sad song.
Sad song.
Why is that? Come on, you gotta give your respect to fucking Poison, dude. They have their place. He doesn't deserve what? Would you say 6 times?
6 times.
Come on.
Fucking dick, bro.
And so what he gets is nothing because everybody's
Yeah,
quitting?
yeah, exactly.
What a dumbass.
I don't understand greed. I really don't. I can't comprehend it.
I know.
I just don't understand it. Like, what the fuck? You have to benefit you have to out benefit your drummer. Like,
So this
what kind of
I
fucking?
learned- I
He's got to
learned-
get the hair permed too, bro. He's got to get to fucking use the hairspray
Well,
and all
especially he
this
probably
shit.
works way harder.
Put on the
The
makeup.
drummer. But I learned about favored nations from your lawsuit. That's like everybody that
As much as Toby makes.
everybody that goes
Nobody
to
makes
work
more than
makes the
Toby.
same.
You learned favored nations means nobody makes more than Toby.
It is really fascinating, guys, in the depositions where all of the people who are involved in the Don's Plum saga are telling the same story, answering the same questions by these attorneys, okay? And everybody defines favored nations as all of the actors who work in the ensemble cast are getting the same amount of money, except for Toby.
Except for Toby.
Toby says that the definition of favored nations is that no one gets paid more than me.
Tell me what that says. I don't know, man. Can I get a doctor?
Speaks volumes about his mentality. Oh, man.
Dedicated
That goes
depths.
nuts.
That's Deanna says dedicated depths. We'll see if there's some other. I do like the long depot lives, says Archival Raccoon.
Okay, good.
See, you know what I mean? People like that too. Hey, okay, so that's what we'll do. I got a cool like uplifting news one. You want to hear one?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Do you know who Rockstar Games is?
Yeah, the company. Yeah.
You know what they make?
Yeah.
Okay.
Grand Theft Auto, right? And what else do they do? Oh,
Grand Theft Auto, they do like Red Dead Redemption.
Redemption.
Rockstar gives terminally ill fan who has been battling cancer for years and who recently got the worst news that he was given 6 to 12 months to live. They're giving him early access to Grand Theft Auto 6. They're letting this person play before they die the game they want to play the most. Because the game is not, they pushed the release date way ahead. And this is the biggest release. You know, every time a Grand Theft Auto comes out,
That's a big deal.
The whole world stops. People
That's
buy
sweet.
consoles, and they're like, "I need a new TV for this. Oh, this is going to be life changing." So, they gave a terminally ill fan the opportunity
That's fun.
to play the game before he dies. And like, if you're the family, right, of this person, you're just like, "No, you should do whatever you want. You really should."
Yeah, that's right.
No, it's cool. You should do whatever you want. It's cool.
Yeah, you want to play video games in your room and your last good days. That's good.
You know.
That works.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You're just like, feel like...
Your
yeah,
sister
they were
flew
like,
in, but...
hey, aren't you hanging out with David? No, he wants to play a video game, actually. I would. You know, I'm going to miss him. I cry every night, actually.
That's really funny.
But he's playing Grand Theft Auto, actually, at the moment. What are you doing? Grand Theft Auto 6. No, I'm not even allowed to look at it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's like all on.
family doesn't have-
They probably have the company security watching while he's playing. No, go ahead. You got another hour, kid. Before I got to eat my fucking lunch. I got a Stanley Cup of stew over there.
That's really funny.
Anyway, I just thought that was really uplifting and kind and beautiful, and I'm so glad that this person is going to have this opportunity. And it is an interesting and I wonder if they're like going to start feeling guilt, like because sometimes when I play video games, you know, and this has been happening since I've been an adult playing video games. So really from my 30s on, we'll say even my 20s, but I didn't really play a lot of my 20s. But after my 30s, like when I got my own apartment again, you know, and I got back on my feet, I was like,
pretty sweet.
PlayStation, let's go. And, whenever I play now, even on my Steam Deck, I'll play long enough to where I start to feel guilty. I'll be like, Dale, you're a grown man. Like I have that dialogue in my head, what could you have done instead, huh? You could have improved your guitar, but what did you do? No, you fucking You went on a mission with a fucking thing that looks like a mouse. So I just wonder if this like terminally ill fan might be like, you know, like 8 hours in and be like, what am I doing? Like, I don't have much time left, and there's my family over there, and I don't know. It just seems like just such an interesting situation. Whatever makes them happy is the most important thing of all. Absolutely. If it's jumping out of airplanes, if it's hanging out with your grandmother, whatever you got to do. Marty Supreme, which you know is the Timothy Chalamet movie, is now A24's highest-grossing film.
No kidding.
Yeah, domestically with over $80 million.
Domestically.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a bona fide movie star. This kid, you know, because he was always in like the movie kind of carrying him in a lot of ways, like in terms of the big stuff, you know.
Yeah, I was hoping for
his last movie that he got nominated for. It did okay.
I'm sick of the old movie stars. You know, we had like
Changing of the Guard. You ready for that?
DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, and then like, you know, sometimes Christian Bale will come out and do something fucking awesome. But who else? You know, ready for some young blood.
That's hilarious. Cosmic Urgency says, I started watching Deconstructing Harry, and he didn't finish. He just jump scared when Toby showed up. He didn't know he was in it.
He jump scared.
So, fact, Woody Allen watched Don's Plum and then hired Tobey Maguire. I know this to be fact.
History in the making.
Yep. He watched Don's Plum and he loved Toby in it. I was amazing.
Did he watch the first 10 minutes of Don's Plum?
Yeah, maybe when he watched when he
Yeah, I know. He's so strange. That's such a fucking weird choice. I'm surprised you used it.
You know, every now and again, this shows up, and it's always fucking fun and entertaining. But these street guys that go out, whatever, these street influencers, and they go out and like they can annoy you, put mics in your face, and ask you questions. Yeah, that's how we got the like Haktua or whatever they called her and all those other things.
I can't stand those guys. They give me like agoraphobia.
Oh my God.
If I lived in Los Angeles, I would never go outside because it's so much easier to run into one of these fucking people.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't even imagine.
Especially if they're going to stop and start giving me money, counting out singles.
Ugh.
Look at all this money I got for you, and it's like $150. It's like, dude, I got somewhere to be.
Yeah.
MAGA voters overwhelmingly these states, they go out into the streets, and they're like, which do you prefer? You know, ACA or Obamacare?
Oh, they've been doing this for years.
Yeah, yeah. It's like an annual thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, they still overwhelmingly. MAGA voters overwhelmingly still prefer the Affordable Care Act over Obamacare.
Aren't these kinds of debates so cute? At this current time, don't you just pine for like just a few years ago when we used to like bicker about that kind of shit?
The good old days.
The good old days when we had our civil liberties.
Yeah. It's so hilarious. I love it so much. It's just the greatest thing. I wonder if it like if it means something politically now, like that because they know that they have these voters out there who are calling Obamacare, who they don't know that the Affordable Care Act is Obamacare. They know that they know that these voters think they're distinctly two different. Like, was it intentional? Like, I wonder. Like, were they able to separate the Affordable Care Act from Barack Obama in order to be able to like do things like take? Do you know like there are governors who like these red state governors who were taking. Exactly what they did. It's right. It is right.
Yeah.
They separate. They're fucking separating the fucking.
Yeah.
God damn, and they're falling for it. And it's hilarious. Oh yeah, the Affordable Care Act. I would never use Obamacare.
Half of political messaging is branding. You know, you just got to brand your ideas in a way that it sells to the people.
Yeah.
And then you got to brand the other guy's ideas in a way that sounds really distasteful and horrible.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
You know how I like to look out for the little Richards.
Yes, I know.
What
is this you're going to tell me about?
I care about them so much. So, I'm just going to tell you.
What Dale is talking about, for anybody who doesn't know, is that we think that we both agree that it's really heinous that the last acceptable body shaming that we all somehow still participate in is to make fun of men who were born not well endowed.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand why we're still doing that. It's not like anybody can control it. It's kind of fucked
Greta
up.
what's her name? Thunberg?
Yeah.
Thunberg?
Thunberg.
Yeah, she does it.
She what?
She talks about Donald Trump's little penis.
A dick joke?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what are we doing, guys?
It's so weird that like doesn't occur to anyone like that. That's a really insensitive thing to do. But if you've ever been in the gym, you know.
And so everybody like on our side of it has to just like laugh along like, oh, haha, you really got him. Like, and then cry to themselves.
Yeah, you know, like these guys who drive around those big trucks with the spikes on the hubcaps that'll kill small animals, and or even us. Those guys, I can't even tell you how many times I've been with people who are like, you know, who said some comment about their little dick because they got these big trucks.
Yep, that's the joke.
And it's just like, oh yeah, it's really hilarious. But, you know, just saying, they were born with that. Trump supporters and insecure men more likely to value a large penis, according to new research. This is in Our Science, by the way.
Insecure men are more sensitive about this stuff.
For some men, the penis serves as a symbol of status and dominance, and the desire for a larger one is partly driven by feelings of humiliation regarding failures to meet social expectations of manhood.
Oh my God, this makes so much sense.
Isn't that
never
wild?
been about that. That's so interesting.
Yeah, it's in my...
you know what's really interesting? Not to make everything about fucking Baldoni all the time, but he talks about this extensively in his book because of...
Small penises?
It's written for men.
Oh.
Where he talks about just sizing up is like a whole chapter in his book about how men are demeaned by the size that they... And, you know, he's making the same point that we do. You're born that way and you can't do anything to change it. And so it's really fucking cruel to make fun of people for it.
New research published in the Journal of Psychology of Men and Masculinities provides evidence that men who feel insecure about their masculinity are more likely to place a high value on having a large penis. The findings suggest that for some men, the penis serves as a symbol of a status of dominance, and a desire for a larger one is partly driven by the feelings of humiliation regarding failures to meet social expectations in manhood.
This is really interesting. The reason why I didn't finish my thought there.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So Baldoni brings everything up like most people who write a nonfiction book where they're delivering the science or the whatever research they want to share.
Yeah.
They'll have like little anecdotes from their own personal experience. And he talks about how he was always trying to measure up with these other men when he was growing up. Like in locker rooms and shit. You play sports and so you're always trying to measure up with everybody.
Yeah.
Like literally measure up.
Yeah.
And it just makes so much sense because he has this very frail ego where you're saying that it's not about penis size at all, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No, this is just like...
And I think that speaks to why he is so fixated on it and how he talks about being fixated on it his entire time growing up is because he felt socially like he didn't belong and he couldn't measure up socially with other people. And so it's sort of like I wish I knew better psychological terms to know what that is, but it's like you just analogize the body part, right? Like young girls grow up and they're like, oh, I'm not skinny enough or I don't have nice enough boobs or whatever. And it's because you're just trying to figure out how you can stand out and be noticed. It has nothing to do with your body, you know?
Yeah.
Same shit.
I think Cosmic Urgency is mischaracterizing he said that I don't look out for Little Richards because I made fun of Andrew Tate for being a Little Richard. And I didn't. I made fun of him trying to be this big Richard. You know, that's what I did. But, you know, if you interpret it that way, that's cool. I think I do look out for people with Little Richards, actually. So, and you can't stop me from feeling that way about myself.
Do you get a pass for body shaming the very worst people? Like the very worst
you
people,
you shouldn't
exempt from
you
body
shouldn't,
shaming?
and I'm not saying that I'm not exempt from slipping off the rails on any given moment, you know, because I've also, you know, I've caught myself making different other like body shaming kind of things, like maybe it's the nose or, you know, whatever. And so like there's always times that I'm putting myself in check. So I suppose it's certainly possible that I fall off the rails and slip up, but I try to be very sensitive to it for and you know, I do the best I can. You know what I'm saying? So, but thank you for keeping me on my toes.
There are some like of the worst people who are making everybody collectively miserable where like I feel like there's nothing off the table. Like if you want to talk shit about them in any way possible, you can. Even body shaming. So maybe there is a way that it's like, you know, fine, socially acceptable to do all the things. I remember
the thing you talking about. I don't remember what I said about it, but I remember what I was talking about. But it wasn't about his Richard. It was about him as a person, and then him like, sporting these. So I don't remember how it went down. If it came off as insensitive, then yeah, that's on me. It's not something I wouldn't be proud of being insensitive in that situation. And I do look out for Little Richards. I don't care what you say. You can't change how I feel. You can't. I'm in control there, bud. Not you. Do I got anything else?
We have a train sound happening.
I'm never perfect at anything. This is the important thing that I think, I think like sometimes when you put your face out there or whatever, you do these kinds of podcasts and shit. Yeah. I think people are like, they sort of have expectations. And I ask you to have no expectations. Expect nothing from me. I am a fool on a fool's errand, and I'm just trying to have some fun along the way. I'm learning a little bit about this show, this kind of work, this kind of podcasting stuff. And I like it. And I hope that Angela and I can master being able to put out 2 hours a day. It's a tall task. And so, yeah, I make mistakes along the way and I expect to make more. And I thank you for your tolerance and your patience.
I'm not going to get on your case for saying anything you fucking want about somebody like Andrew Tate. I mean, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I just don't want to. I'm sure many a little Richard laughed at Little Richard jokes, and genuinely, because sometimes it's just the funniest things ever.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's not like they, they can't tickle the sense of humor. It's just that I feel reasonably sad for those who are subjected to it.
Trying to go through the chat. Everybody is having a wonderful time talking to each other about things I don't exactly understand.
Well, that's on you, Angela.
It is. It is.
Don't forget to like the live if you haven't already. That's the kindest thing you can do for us at this point. And, I always say, but if you're just like not like even paying attention, you're like, oh my God, these people are fucking horrible. And like, you're going to leave a comment that says something like, you're delusional or whatever. Please leave a like anyway. You know what I mean? Because you stuck around long enough to call me delusional. So at least pay me.
Slow Car says, like. Michael Rappaport seems like a genuinely bad dude. The way he speaks about Palestinian people annoys me to no end.
He's gross to me.
I saw a video that keeps getting shared. I don't know when it was, but it was apparently sometime in wintertime in New York, because he was making one of those little selfie videos where he was ranting to his phone and somebody threw a snowball at him and you could hear them shouting, where the guy who threw the snowball, you could hear his voice from far away being like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. That guy needs to shut the fuck up. That's how I feel about it, man. He needs to shut the fuck up.
That one thing I absolutely adore about New Yorkers is that they can get into fights and that they're just arguments. Like they could absolutely eviscerate each other with words, and everybody just moves about their day. Like they're such tough-skinned people. You could never get away with that behavior in like Los Angeles. Somebody would be like, I'm gonna sue.
Another uplifting news is all these states are passing cell phone bans in school all the way to K through 12.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Michigan's just done it, and there's a bunch of them are doing it.
Here's the thing, though.
Exciting.
It's a little bit weird. It's a bit of like maybe it's not good. Okay, so check this out. There's a lot of times that students are able to record abuses by their teachers in a classroom, in a closed classroom. And the only reason why they can share with authorities, with the principal, share proof of how they've been abused or how they've been spoken to like racistly, all kinds of these kinds of remarks that these teachers take that they make, they only can do it if they have like a secret phone to record. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. Like, I don't know how you protect kids from being distracted by phones, but also give them the autonomy to be able to make a recording if they need to, if something bad happens.
Yeah. Well, the priority obviously is their education, and apparently the evidence is clear on this.
Why is the priority their education? Shouldn't the priority be their making sure they're not mistreated?
Yeah, I think that's always the priority. Right. But I'm... Well, all I can tell you is that the entire world seems to be embracing this because apparently phones are having a wildly detrimental effect on educational development.
Yeah, this is true.
So I think that the reason why it's getting banned is that, and maybe it's it's not that they aren't considering the potential safety issues that phones bring, but that the sacrifice to their education is so profound.
I just wanted to offer the anti-perspective in case anybody is
Way to
seeing
go.
that,
Wait. It was uplifting news, and
in
you
case
made it.
anybody
You made
is
it.
seeing that these laws are being pushed back against, it's because there's a lot of people who are advocating for child safety who recognize that it's a huge problem when kids can no longer make video recordings to prove that something bad has happened to them. You know? It's like big bad problem. Like
This person, it's so interesting. The first comment says, "We live in Florida where we already have similar legislation. I was adamantly opposed to it initially, but after 3 years, this is the way to go. I don't think people truly appreciate how disruptive phones are in the classroom. They aren't necessarily your kid. They aren't necessarily your kid. They aren't necessary. Sorry. Your kid can still take their phone to school. They just can't use it until after school. Anytime that either of my children needed to get in touch with me, their teacher has allowed them to use their phone. And I see no
Oh, okay. So the phone is in the classroom with the kid.
I see no downsides. No, their phones are not allowed to be on.
Because
or
another thing that people
used.
are really worried about is that, like, in America, school can sometimes very suddenly be a very scary place. And so sometimes kids need to be able to contact their parents.
Well, the parents saying, like, they edited their comments saying people keep asking me why I was opposed. And as a parent, it's just because I was worried. My kids, they have those phones for emergencies.
Yep.
And I wanted immediate access to them in case of an emergency. So while banned, in reality, they keep their phones in their bags. They just can't take them out. But they can still have them on them.
Mm-hmm. Great.
So if and of course they're going to do that. It's not like they're going to it's not like a Hollywood event now. Like in Hollywood events now, they just you have to drop your phone in a
Faraday bag.
In a Faraday bag. Yeah. Yeah, they're doing that now at holiday because they don't want, after Leo and Diddy and no more. Mm-hmm. Ain't no more of that.
We should get a Faraday bag.
I can't trust you. What is it? What can you put in a Faraday bag?
Any electronic that you want to protect from outside, there's a lot of people it's kind of a conspiracy theory, but it's also actually a real threat where people worry about these solar flares that create these electronic emissions.
Yeah.
That screw with electronics. So if you had a bunch of hard drives that you wanted to make sure weren't going to get screwed up if some sort of power event happened, I don't know what else to call it. They're like EMT, I forget what they're called, but they're electromagnetic events where they'll screw up your hard drive, they'll screw up your phone. If you have anything really important stored digitally, you should get a Faraday bag or a Faraday box or something and just store it in there.
Well, they're not very expensive. I just looked.
You can actually just use a microwave, I think, because microwaves are insulated to keep the waves in.
But then you forget, and you're like, oh my God, my phone is popping.
I don't think you plug it in. Oh no, it's spinning. Oh no, it's popping. Oh no, it's...
What did you do? Oh, I just put some water on in the microwave.
Some hot cocoa.
Did you take my phone out? What? Did you take my fucking phone out?
I like the idea of seeing it spinning in there and panicking, but not opening the door. Never mind.
I love that. I think that's all my stuff. Nikki Glazer, she totally wussed out. She said that she reveals that, we were critical of how there was no political. And she was like,
we noticed.
Yeah, the Trump jokes, well, I just avoided politics because, it's just kind of hard to strike the right tone. That's bullshit.
No, it's actually very easy to strike the right tone these days.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Yeah, unless you're told by the boss not to.
These days you can strike just about anywhere and it's the right tone.
There's some George R.R. Martin news for those who are sitting there and have been riveted by this, who have been sitting for, decades now waiting for this book.
Yeah, let me look this up.
George R.R. Martin is struggling, he said, while writing the long-awaited Game of Thrones book, The Winds of Winter, but says that it will feel like a total failure to give up on it. So that's he's just giving everybody the hope. They're like, yes, exactly, failure, don't fail. And by the way, you're getting old and your health is diminishing and we need you to finish the book, so you better fucking finish it. Because if it comes out posthumously finished by your fucking first cousin, I'm going to murder you.
It was 2011 was the last of his A Song of Ice and Fire series.
So it's been 15 years.
Yeah.
Okay. He said that this could be the longest book in the series.
I am fucking here for it, bro.
I know because you read them all.
I've read them all.
I probably will.
Love them. I have to read them over again, though. I don't remember any of it.
Is that true?
Yeah, well, so
Well, that's karma.
Dale's angry at me because we tried to book club together.
Yeah.
We were going to read the books together, and then we were, but Dale is a faster reader than me. I like to take my time reading. I like to just
You can put it that way if you want to.
I do. I read slowly
Put it
on
that
purpose.
Way. Okay.
I mean, obviously I can read fast. I've been reading here all the time. But I like to read books slowly. So I told him, I was like, "Hey man, you're like lapping me here. You're going to be done before me. So why don't you just like hang on, read something else for a little while I catch up." And then you went and did, and somehow it's my fault that I continued and finished and you never came back to them.
It is your fault.
Why is it my fault?
Because I just we're gonna take care of this offline.
But anyway,
I was gonna make you popcorn tonight, but you know what? You're fucking with me now.
now I'm grounded.
Did you hear this thing about Daniel Stern?
No.
He got busted for soliciting a prostitute.
Oh, so what? Who cares?
Yeah, and they kicked him off his show. He's like his whole life is being
Wait,
ruined.
Daniel Stern
You know who Daniel Stern is?
from Home Alone?
Yeah, and he got
From
it. He got
City
it.
Slickers?
He got an.
Isn't he a sculptor now? He's an artist now, right?
Well,
he's not an actor anymore.
I don't know. He was on an ABC pilot, and he
And he tried to hire a date.
tried to hire a date,
So what?
and he got busted for it. I guess it was I don't know, maybe his date was on the street. I don't know.
What the fuck kind of?
He got
decade
busted
is-
for it.
What decade is
What
this?
decade is this?
What are we doing?
What decade is this? Donald Trump is president. What are you talking about? Donald Trump is president and Daniel Stern is being fired?
Oh, so he just needed to hire Stormy Daniels, and then he could have run for president.
Is that just a fucking
You
bunch
know
of
what
shit?
I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? What is this puritanical bullshit? Who? What was the network?
ABC.
So fucking. What the fuck is wrong with them?
Bunch of shit, man. I honestly, I couldn't believe it.
Well, now he can go back to making art. You know, he said that he likes it.
Pamela Anderson had me immediately rethinking my feelings of Seth Rogen. I haven't.
You're bouncing around topics. Did you know that it's after 8?
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get this last one in.
Okay.
Pamela Anderson, she said that she felt yucky being near Seth Rogen at the Golden Globes.
Yes, I forgot all about how he direct.
He wrote, he produced, he starred, and he may have written.
I know that he was in it. I didn't know that.
And he played.
wrote it.
Yeah, he played.
But the movie about Pam,
he was the lead, I guess.
It was Pam and Tommy was the
yes,
movie, right?
it was the Pam and Tommy movie.
Wow, yeah, he's got a lot of nerve, like not apologizing constantly, over and over again to her for that.
And now he's like all this. Now he's all. I would feel yucky being called yucky. Like if somebody said
By Pam Anderson?
Yes.
I would be like, if Pam Anderson had a bad opinion of me, I would make amends so fucking. I would move heaven and earth to just be like,
Depends on
how
what it's
can I
for.
help? Huh?
Depends on what it was for. Like she could have a bad opinion on me. Like, yeah, it depends on what it's for. But
I love her. I think she's a button. I think that she.
I really enjoyed that
deserves
doc on
all the
her.
good things.
I really enjoyed that doc of hers.
Yeah, me too.
I thought it was really good. I think we put it in our reviews. So yeah, I got a few more things, but I'll save those for another night. But that's some of the archive.
Okay, we didn't spend enough time in the chat tonight, I don't think.
We didn't. Well, we're really here to entertain, aren't we?
Kiki said that Alex Sachs talks about firing the first AD in her deposition.
I
I'm going to look
told you
again.
that.
I'm going to try to come back tomorrow and see if I can find it, because I do remember her talking about it.
Angela, always such a contrarian, says Cosmic Urgency.
Me? I know. Well,
You miss Contrarian over there.
hey man, I'm Mercury ruled. That's what we do.
Like a Cosmic Urgency, like secretly has all these grudges.
Yeah.
So yeah, you call me a contrarian. I kid, of course. I want to see Nick again.
Hang on a second. Hanada said, I bet Alex Sachs has dealt with a lot of men in the industry and wasn't going to put up with Baldoni and Heath's cluelessness.
I think that's a very reasonable assumption.
I'm trying to figure out what this. Oh, Slowcar said that when your first AD is highly incontinent, that's the worst. They're just shitting all over the floor while you're trying to make art.
No! Oh my God!
We don't have time
bro.
for this.
It's the dinner scene, bro.
Kiki says Sachs said that they were not set up for success with the first AD. She said that Bloom, who's the name of the first ID, tried very hard but was not able to wrap her head around the entire machine. See, that's what I have. That's what I have too from her deposition, but I don't recall her talking about the firing of her, and whether it was specifically. This is the thing. I got to look this up because was she saying that Lively said that she didn't think she was good enough, or was Alex Sachs just saying that she didn't think she was good enough and that's why she supported her firing? I'm very curious about whether Blake Lively brought it up then after the birthing scene because it was not a close set. So this is what I need to investigate.
I dig. Bottom line is that they fired her because she was obviously incompetent, even if it's not over that particular issue.
You said a good title for a novel or a story would be Weirder Noises.
Weird Noises.
Weird Noises.
Yeah.
And then Slowcar said Weirder Noises, like it's like Stranger Things but a radio play.
Yeah, there you go.
That's like a joke. I think I butchered it. Hanada said, I don't want to ever see myself on a big TV. You guys look good.
Oh, God. It's horrifying. I did not like it at all. I'm not pleased with the concept of us being on a big TV. I don't think we should be. I think it should be a part of like our terms and services. You know, you have to watch us on mobile devices only.
I said it was
7. If you look at me in a mobile device, I look like I'm 48.
Dale, I said it was 7:30 here, and Potato goes, time zone revealed.
Time zone revealed.
like
she's gathering data.
Yeah. That's so funny.
How do you know I'm blocking locations on my browser?
Delicate said that what if you did a deposition read through like on a Monday and into a Tuesday if it has to be?
Yes.
It's definitely going to be more than a day. It's going to be several days already.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do we just tackle it? And because like there's a whole bunch of unsealing coming on, we're going to get way behind. Do we just tackle it tomorrow? Do we just like roll up the old sleeves?
The whole day we could just do it.
Just rock it out.
It's not like tomorrow's news can't wait for the next news. I mean, unless it's like big news, you know?
Well, yeah, we you know, just in, we'll do those.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so is that the plan?
Fellbombling says, will Trump be the first president in history where students will be required to bring a parental consent form to school before the child can be taught about his presidency? That's interesting. Oh, yeah,
I know, right? Because it's pretty fucking dicey. Well, there's enough to say when you leave all the rest of that out. Like there's all the, selling documents to our adversaries type shit. You could talk about all those things.
It's just the weirdest timeline ever, man.
It's a whole pile, man. You could just
it's crazy. I can't believe I stopped drinking. I really can't. Amidst all this shit, I stopped drinking. I haven't had a drink in like 6 years, and I don't know how. I don't know how I
know it's a weird time.
Yeah. Cosmic Urgencies wants us to never cover them again. I'm surprised you don't find the case fascinating. Really, I am. Just because it's just, I just think it's truly a fascinating case, and I think it's important. You know, I think it's really important. Look, obviously I'm covering it because I've had my ass handed to me by Hollywood and by Hollywood publicists and by people with bad intentions. And so, yeah, I can't help but watch this case. It's just not possible for me to avoid. It's the accident I cannot look away from.
Potato wrote in all caps about the George R.R. Martin story.
Yeah.
Oh, he's struggling? What a shock.
No one noticed. Oh, no one fucking noticed, buddy. It's only been 15 years. You're making video games.
I know. He said that what he'll do is he'll make great progress, and then he'll go back and he'll read what he just wrote, and he's like, oh shit, this isn't good enough. And I was like, yeah, that's writing. What are you doing?
It's the biggest, well, yeah.
That's what everybody does.
He's one of those writers who probably writes really, really strong first drafts.
Yeah.
You know, you're used to me. You're like, no, it's absolute garbage because, that's Dale. That's what he does. He writes absolute garbage.
Cosmic Urgency said about Daniel Stern's firing.
Yeah.
Cosmic Urgency said, like it's the 80s or something? What geriatric dope long overdue for retirement made that decision?
It's the craziest thing. It's just, I can't even believe that it happened. It felt like I was being dragged back into some, previous.
He should fucking sue. He's like, you don't get to decide what I do in my free time. I'm not contractually obligated to
Well, that's not true. They have a clause. That's not true.
date.
No, they have a clause. If he broke the law, which he did, and he was arrested, and then it was public, they have a clause for that for sure. I forget what it's called. It's called. There's an actual clause. I used to know the name of it.
He didn't break the law. He was just looking for love.
Well,
is that so wrong?
No, we agree that it's
if that's
garbage.
so wrong, then I'm a criminal too.
We agree that it is garbage.
Yeah.
That is garbage. And listen, that's not to say that sex workers shouldn't be protected and all that other stuff. Obviously, that's of utmost importance. Legalize it, and that'll be a good start to protecting them. Just legalize it so that sex workers can, have legitimate lives and be safe and not have to rely on criminals for their safety. Let's start with that, and then and then their protection will be far more
fucking archaic shit, bro.
It's crazy. What the fuck, bro? I honestly thought we were progressing at some point. Like at some point I was like, maybe it was in my 20s or something. I was like, here we are, we're progressing. No. No,
it was all a lie.
No, it was just like I was walking, I was just blind to everything around me. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. We are going to are we doing Baldoni then tomorrow? Is that what we're doing?
I'm down if you are.
It appears that's what we're going to do. Check in to see, but it could be that it is a Baldoni day.
Cosmic wants to know, so tomorrow is all Baldoni.
That's what I'm addressing.
We don't know yet.
We're not exactly positive. Pop in and see. You can always just leave. We sure are glad that you were here tonight, though. You're always good fun, Cosmic Urgency, and so are all the rest of you. I really do just love having this time with you guys. It's super fun. And I hope you'll join us again tomorrow. We will be here at 6 o'clock on the dot.
That's right.
And with sound. Yeah. As it's a great little addition to add. All right, guys, we will see you tomorrow. Good night, and thank you for